Family Roundtable. Everyone has a voice. This is Family Roundtable. Come on, make some choice. Father, mother, son and daughter, auntie, uncle, nana, grandpa. Real people, real issues.
Welcome to Family Roundtable, where we rebuild family foundations through real conversations, intentional conversations without judgment. I am Oluwatosin Oke.
And I'm Larry. Okay.
So today we're going to be looking at intentional parenting. You know, every parent knows that sometimes there can be tension between purpose and the work of parenting, and at that point, intentional parenting now becomes the matter that we have to discuss. Today we have a beautiful guest whom I would like my husband to introduce. But before we do that, I'd like to, share my quotes with you as I always do. And I've been told to do just two for today's session. The first one is by Tomoko Ishikawa. It says, "Balance is the art of choosing presence over pressure." Again, balance is the art of choosing presence over pressure. What do you think about that?
Choosing presence over pressure. I think it sounds like enjoying the moment.
Enjoying the moment. Okay. Let me look at the next one. Another one says, "Prioritize ruthlessly. The rest falls into place." And when I hear this one, this is from Grace Nguyen, and I'm thinking, I need to look at someone in the face. Prioritize ruthlessly. But to be fair, I think if I want to say anything about you, Larry, in the last 1 month, I feel prioritized.
You feel like
I feel a bit more prioritized.
Okay.
I feel like you prioritize our family a bit more, and I feel like, yeah, sincerely, I feel pressured.
Editor, I'm sure you add a clap to
even though this conversation is not about you and I, but just reading that makes me feel like, I like the way you come back. I know you're tired, but you still come here to come and sit with us and not going to your study. So I feel really prioritized. But one of the things that Grace says here is, then the rest falls into place. So if peradventure, your relationship is a bit wobbly because of being busy, your relationship with your spouse, with your children, because of being busy, when you prioritize certain things because they matter to you, other things will fall into place. The business, the work that you think you want to put so much of your time, energy into, actually, maybe those people you are giving some time to might be the ones to give you the ideas that you need to push forward. But don't worry, let's move on away from this. It's about intentional parenting.
Yeah, I think on one of these days we might have to talk about prioritization and how to really deal with it. Because at times I think it's not also as deep, in the sense that there are some seasons, and that's why now we've kind of discovered that, or should I say research have discovered that work-life balance is not realistic, or is not achievable. It's all about work-life integration. So I'm just saying that there will integration, yes, that there will actually be some time that really you might have to prioritize work over family. I mean, maybe a day or 2 days, you understand? Because I don't know, there are some of us that are work
or integrate.
That's why I said work-life integration. That's the start point. You just need to define the season of your life. I've always said it's that. Like for example, a woman that is pregnant, that season is not really a season to be exercising. You must just, you must understand your times and seasons. This is just for anyone out there maybe struggling. You're not failing. And although I told you to give only 2 quotes, but I think your third quote is good, which says that order is not about perfection, it's about intention. So just being intentional about it and work towards it. But anyway, to our guest this beautiful day.
Over to you. I like it to do us. I like the way you introduce our guest. And I know she's very special to you, and of course to me.
I'm so excited to welcome to our blue couch someone I personally love so much. I say it every time I've got a chance to introduce her, and I'm going to say it again. I was once somewhere in the studio laughing. But I used to say it that, you see, she's just married to her husband officially. There are some people that they are just officially, that really He's married to all of us, as in both of us, but you know, he's just the one that is, you know, he's just the one that we have delegated the midnight duties to. But beyond that, you know, understand? But you know, this someone I love so much. Her name is Dr. Funmi Oshiloye. You know, she's a Nepo baby. Posh to the T.
Nice to
Dr. Funmi, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Dr.
you for
Funmi
coming.
is a medical doctor and a GP. Yes, he's a GP. And today we are talking about, you know, you are one of those people that I know that as everyone, we've all got our struggles. But you are one person that when you're seen, it's like you always have it all put together, you know. The natural hair is there, the, you know, not too much, not all over the place, always composed, you know. Your steez and composure is always there.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are discussing
without doing too much.
You know, and we're discussing parenting with purpose, and the idea is balancing career, you know, balancing your family,
And
your
your
family
calling
life, and your
as a
calling,
pastor.
because we also know that you've got a lot you do in the body of Christ, as in for humanity. So how have you been balancing that with the children? That's basically what the conversation is about. So yeah, doesn't start with the first question.
Before we go further, do you want to tell us a bit more about yourself? Let's get to know you.
Okay. Like you said already, my name is Funmi Oshiloye. I'm a GP. I've been practicing for, I think, about 5 years now here in the UK. I'm married, based on what he said, with 2 beautiful children, 1 boy, 1 girl. The oldest is 14 and the youngest is 7.
Actually, you've been practicing for 5 years. You've been practicing for more than 5 years.
So 5 years as a GP.
Okay, as a GP.
Yeah,
Okay.
I completed medical school 2009. That's how many years now?
Oh
That's
my
My
goodness,
math is- yeah.
that's about 7 years.
No, 2009.
2009.
17 years.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's what I'm
2009.
But you started working as a medical doctor
As a-
in the UK about
There
10
goes my
years
math.
ago.
So yeah. So
Exactly.
in the UK 2015. so
2015,
11 years.
about 11 years,
now.
but you
Wow.
started working as a GP.
Yeah.
Just for, when she mentioned 5 years, I wanted to correct
They are
that.
part of this story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's me in total. Yeah.
Give us a little bit, what in that English? Is it neck beat or what is it called?
A little bit.
Whatever.
Some information.
Give us a picture of your childhood.
Okay.
How was growing up for you?
Okay, so I was born in a family. I lived and grew up in the middle part of Nigeria, which is Plateau State, Jos.
Yeah.
So I was born there, and I lived also. In fact, what am I saying? My husband came and picked me up from my house in Jos. I'm the only girl amongst 2 boys.
Okay.
In between both boys as well. So I think that's also kind of, I don't know. I think my environment of being in Jos played a role, apart from my personality being a bit quiet and withdrawn. But I think Jos or Plateau State is a very peaceful area, and I think some people say I behave like them sometimes. I'm not, quite.
How do they behave?
Yeah, they're calm. And
Like
I think
like Joshua Selman kind of people.
yeah, people
Calm,
from Kaduna, all
peaceful.
those areas. No, to be honest, I understand what you're saying. And when people bring my attention to that, and I look back, I'm like, okay, maybe that's actually played a role in, And my parents too are quite, similar, yes, as well. So, I think that's kind of, and the way, I think also my parents, they met here in the UK. They got married in the UK. So from there they moved. So I think they had a bit of this. I don't know, parenting was kind of like not laid back, but they were very intentional as well.
Intentional.
Yeah, so that kind of.
I grew up in Ibadan, and I have a feeling that Ibadan would have been like Jos, but Jos would have been posher, obviously. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is so I suspect that in your family there was not a lot of hustling and bustling. Your parents were there.
Yeah, they're quite.
Are you saying that's what Ibadan looks like?
Oh yes, growing up then in Ibadan, we all had, as in there's always, at least the mother is always at home. Like my mother, my mother will be home. If she's not home at 4:15, She closes at 4 o'clock, so most times she's home by 4:15. Worst case scenario, she's home at 4:30. So then school closes at 2, we get home around 2:30. So any rubbish, and rubbish in my definition is you are playing football, you are running around. You've got to do it between 2:30 and 4:30. You understand? So that was the kind of background I had. And between those 2 hours, remember, you have to change from your school uniform, you have to eat, and you have to maybe have done homework. So by the time she comes at 4:30, if you don't do all of those things, you've got questions to answer. And that was that kind of structure. I know quite a number of children don't have that kind of.
I think I also had a kind of similar, because my dad was a business quantity surveyor, so he owned his own business, and my mom worked in the university. So you can see that it was very, just like you're saying, it was kind of structured as well. So that was very helpful. And because of his business, he was kind of more flexible. So days when, because of being in the university, you're expected to be there at certain times. So, having that balance where when she's not available, he was able to, come in and have that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, so back now to the topic, purposeful parenting, intentional parenting. What does that mean to you? How would you describe purposeful parenting?
I think, just like the word is, parenting with purpose. So it's more of not just reacting to daily behaviors in your children. This is something you have to do with purpose. It's about creating or developing your child's, creating an environment where your child is developing their values, developing their long-term goals. It's being intentional about it, being proactive, not just waiting for something to happen and you react to it. So when we're talking about it being with purpose, that means you are, like I said, creating value. So the values of hard work, the value of being respectful, the value of being compassionate, showing empathy. You can't just wait for it to happen. You have to be intentional to teach them these things. So that's what it's to me. And also connection is very important. Because with children, if you don't connect on their level and you just sit as lording over them, then you will just breeze through parenting. But having that connection time at time, and this connection should also be based on each stages of their lives, because at every stage, being a child, being a teenager, there are different levels of connection and they kind of change over time. So parenting is not just waiting for things to happen, being intentional about being productive and trying to create values and long-term goals for them to work with.
Interesting.
You have mentioned, there's some keywords in what you said. You mentioned hardworking, respect.
Yeah.
What other parenting values do you say is at least is critical to you and your Shiloh family?
Yeah, so like I said, respect is very important to us. I carry that very big, especially with the way my kids carry themselves, in front of people, the please, the thank yous, showing that, they value others, showing empathy as well, discipline, self-control, those are all values. And the most important is having those values based on the word of God, because moral values are there, for us to follow. But once these values are based on the word of God, it is even more. Yes.
To even define.
Yes, of course.
No, as we were talking about the values, I kept imagining seeing your daughter, and she's one person I look at and I'm like, even before she turned 7, I'm like, oh, she's so mature. She's so what moments, what would you say you practically did to bring them up in the way that you have? Because what I see, yes, you're a medical doctor, but what I see is a parent that knows what she wants, and you've been able to communicate these values with your children. So what is it that you do that makes you different, or that makes you achieve this different outlook in your children?
So sometimes it's not easy, because being a career woman, you have to kind of balance it out, where you balance the area of your work and also being there for them. So what I try to do is I try to create time, what I call pockets of time.
Okay.
So these pockets of time are anytime I have one-on-one, or even just with both of them, I try to find time in the day and in the term. So for example, when they're on term break, I know that this is my opportunity for them to be at home. So sometimes when I try a plan ahead of them, I plan looking at their calendar and say, okay, with this term breaks or time, Mondays I'm usually free, so I'll try to pick up an activity during the term break so that we can do as a family. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, just something I can do to connect with them. So pockets of time, like on a daily basis, like my drive to school. So that 15-20 minutes of being in the car with them, we usually use that, for example, to listen to like healing scriptures. We talk about, I ask them questions of, things that maybe have happened the previous day or something happened at home. We talk about it in the car. So those are the pockets of time I use. Another pocket of time I use also is going to bed. I ask them, how was your day? Things like that. And I tease out information from them so that I know what's going on in their life.
I like that word, tease out.
Yes.
Because sometimes I struggle with getting information.
Yes, I try to make it a relaxed environment when it's not like it's confrontational. Because once, especially my teenage son, if you make it confrontational, he withdraws a bit. But when he's more relaxed, and another pocket of time we try to do as a family is to eat dinner together.
Every day?
Every day, yes. So because we do that. And that's just because when I'm back from home, my husband too is finishing work around 5-6 together. So when we cook and we all try to cook together, and all the time the last one very cheeky, she always runs away. But when we do that together and we're about to eat, this is recent, we just try to
cook together.
Yes, because we try to make him learn to
cook.
Yes, and be
no, that's
independent.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So when we sit on the table, we try to ensure, this is something we even started recently in the last few months, to ensure we put our phones away. Because when we tell them my son to put, because the girl doesn't have a phone, but when we tell him to put his phone away, he's always like, but you guys are always on your phone as well. So the only way we can role model this to him is for all of us to put on. And it's not easy sometimes because we have WhatsApp to reply to that we've gotten during the day, but we try to do that, put aside, ask them how their days have been. What did you like about today? Is there anything that was challenging? Things like that. And we sit down and have that conversation. Sometimes we watch TV, but most times the news, just to have this current affairs or what's going on, discuss, speak to them, hear what their own values or what they've learned, and things that we can, remove out or chase or, bring together, or things that we feel we might work on based on what they are saying. Things like that. So those are the pockets of time I use during the day to just have that connection with them.
I think that's phenomenal, and I really like the eating together. So that means, and this is not cooking together. This is not just. I think this is for a family out there. So does that mean that you guys all eat the same thing?
We try to as much as possible.
because I'm asking that because I know
you're a healthy family. You try.
Yes, you try. Apart from all those midnight granuts that some people eat, I know so a lot about this family. Don't let us
wash it outside.
Exactly. But anyway, the question why I asked about because there are some little things that we can actually dig a bit into. I know we are due to go on break, but before we go on break, there is this argument about, I know about it with my wife a while ago, about giving children opportunity to pick what they eat. But if they pick what they eat, are we going to eat together?
Can we come back on that? Let's go for a break quickly. See you soon.
See you.
Do you believe your child has potentials? Untapped potentials? Because every child actually is like gold, and that's what I believe. But not every parent knows how to bring it out. That's why Gold Mining Parenting for Excellence by Tosin Oke was written to help you discover how to harness strengths in your child and how to raise them with purpose and confidence. Parenting is not about pressure. It's not about competition. Parenting is about discovery. It is about availability. And so I'm advising you today, please get your copy on Amazon and let's start discovering the gold in our child together.
Welcome back. Before we went on break, we're about to talk about food, how food comes into play. Larry, do you want to ask that question?
Yeah, kind of. Not don't let them think I'm food. That's what I love food.
We like food.
Yeah, we like food. Food makes me happy. Personally, good food. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, so you're talking about it's just a conversation myself and my wife have had in the past about part of helping children make decisions, is giving them opportunity to do small, make some small decisions. So like your family now that you eat dinner together, sounds like everybody will eat the same thing. So but if how does that how did that play out? How did you involve the children in decision making as per food?
I think I'm just quite lucky that they're not picky eaters, because if you have children that are picky eaters, it can be a bit difficult. Or you have children that have allergies, it can be a bit difficult to have that scenario where everybody is eating the same thing. But I think it's something that we've been able to do as a family, where I think getting everybody involved, it's a good thing if you're allowing your children make a decision, but make a decision, I think, like we were discussing before when we went on break, but involving them, like if you're planning for the week, let them be involved, so that when it's time to say let's all eat this together, nobody can chicken out. We have to all eat this together.
But is it not even, I'm not sure if I should use the word poor parenting. No, maybe not poor parenting. It's not even weak parenting. Growing up, then do you choose? Do you choose what you want to eat? No. Is it not what is before you that you?
It's
will
what
eat?
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
So why are we even having this conversation that what if this one doesn't want to eat?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So it's like you're giving them too much options.
Exactly.
And
today is rice. Eat the rice. Tomorrow is potato. Eat the potato.
And just like we were saying about, if you're a career person, you don't even have that time to cook different meals. So to make it work for yourself and make it easy for you, because sometimes these things is about being wise as well, because in as much as you're trying to be a good parents to give them the options, but you also have to think of yourself as well, not to overwhelm yourself.
And make it sustainable.
Yes, and make it sustainable. So if they can all eat together, why not? If not, it makes it easy for you as a parent.
I'm thinking as a parent, as a child, I'm a child well-being person. So I think we can talk about involving children in decisions, in the sense that maybe for the next 6 months I'm about to do, because one of the things I try to do is follow a food rota. And after we had that conversation, one of the things that came out of it is having a food rota. So I can decide to say, okay, you let's sit down, I'm about to do this food rota. What sort of meals I'm stuck? So even if I know what to do, I can play dumb, but by involving them and say, okay, I'm stuck. What sort of food do we actually like in this home? And then let's assign. And I know that there are certain foods that will not come up in that list when we're making that list together, because they don't like it. But I know it's good for them. You know what I'm talking about already. Beans. And so but it's when we're having that conversation, we can decide to say, okay, but beans has to come up here and here. But what we're doing, it's not like I, as a parent, you've put them in a position where they are the ones making the choice or making a decision. But what you've done is you've involved them. Yes. They feel part of something. They feel part of a community, because whether you like it or not, the home is the smallest community.
Yes.
And I think that's really important.
Then I think the bottom line is just, which is our conversation today, being intentional. Planning. You understand? So if you see it as a big deal for you, as in if you see it as something you want to achieve, let's have dinner together. I think it's good. I'm just saying that some of the meals that we even start eating as a family that we never really eaten is from the children that from school, and say, oh, we tried this in school, this was really nice, can we start eating that? And we're like, sometimes we're a bit skeptical, but when we try, look on YouTube and say, we're like, oh, this really tastes nice, and we involved, and they're happy because they also feel involved that we brought this to the house, and daddy and mommy like this meal.
And I think it's important to what you just said, because it resonates with me. There are certain things that our kids cannot eat. Some of the time you hear that the kids are not eating in school because they're not used to such sort of food. So maybe there's a way that, okay, they've said they ate this in school. You can try it together at home, and then maybe just
make it
Africanize it.
Make it
and then get it to the point where
add some pepper inside fish.
Exactly.
Shepherd pie.
So
okay.
Moving on.
Okay. So what are there any moments that makes you, should I say, made you feel most aligned as a purposeful parent, in the sense that is there any moment you can look back to and be like, oh, I think I'm proud of, maybe your child did something, your child said something.
Yeah, I think looking at them, and sometimes when I see some parents come and tell me, oh, and not, this is something that, just as what you're saying, that makes me kind of proud, is I have parents that from my children's school or from their dance class or whatever, and come to me and say, oh, your daughter or your son, they're so respectful, they're so well behaved. Or when they do, there was one parent that came and met me. I think my daughter did like a play date with her. I wasn't even there. She picked her from school, took her to her house, and brought her back. And I was like, she's so impressed that your daughter is so well behaved, so respectful. She's always, before she asks anything, before she does anything, she's always asking for permission. And then I just looked back. I was like, so I was like, this is what purposeful parenting is about, and it makes me proud that not only are they picking up these things, but I'm able to also be a role model for them, and it's something that makes me happy. Yeah.
If I'm to answer that question, I know you are the guest though, but one moment I was very proud of was when about 2 years ago I was bringing our first child from tutoring, 11 plus tutoring, and there's a little village just before her home, before our village. They were having these sales, you understand, like they call it, it's a tabletop sales, open place, and it was a cash sale, so you have to pay cash. But unfortunately, all the things I saw that I really liked, or when I wanted to pay, when I picked those things, I discovered that I didn't carry cash, and the lady was like, oh, don't worry, we can transfer. But being a remote village, there was no network. And the lady was like, oh, don't worry, when you get home, you can transfer the funds to me. It was not a lot of money, maybe about £30 or ish. So I remember I was like, oh, no problem. She gave me the details, and we were driving them. Like, I wanted to test my daughter. I was like, Kiki, maybe I should not even transfer that money to her. Maybe I should not transfer this £35. She was like, Daddy, oh, you can never do that. I trust you enough not to do that. That statement, I felt so happy with myself. I was like, oh wow, I think we've done a very good job. Yeah.
Those are the values we're talking about.
Exactly. Not stealing somebody else's money. Nice.
Yeah.
and I think it links up to everything we've just said. But if you really think about it, what do you think you want your children to learn from you? If you want to articulate.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think for me, the most important and most paramount is, as a Christian, is I want them to know God for themselves. Because I feel, the Bible says, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and yet loses his soul? So the things we keep chasing, the career progression, the achievements, the best at what they do and things like that. And I'm like, if they have all this and yet they don't have Christ, of what use is it? So to me, if there's anything I want them to learn from my journey as a parent or as their mom, is that they know God for themselves. And I'm not talking about knowing God in terms of I'm going to church because mom is going to church, or I'm reading my Bible because mom is going to ask me, did I read my Bible today? I want it to be that they have experienced God through me. And once I know they have that, I feel every other thing is settled.
That's good. That's a clock it moment.
Clock it.
No, I think that's deep.
I think that clock it moment is a good time to go on a break. What do you think?
Okay.
Let's go on a break. See you soon.
Imagine a young person full of ideas, but too afraid to express them. Confidence is low, creativity stays hidden, and their voice never gets heard. That's why YP Creative Expression exists, helping young people build confidence, unlock creativity, and develop real performance skills through music, imagination, and self-expression. Contact us to get started today on +447 3777 511350 or email yapmusiccreativitykidsclub@gmail.com. We've also created a resource for ages 6 to 16 to help them create, build confidence, and step into their voice. Scan the QR code on your screen and invest in their potentials.
Welcome back. Yeah, I'd like to ask our very own Dr. Fumi right now, how do you manage how do you balance a demanding career and staying on top of family?
Is your career demanding?
That's a very good question. I think in the different phases, when I was doing training, it was very demanding because I did shift work then, but now it's easier because
maybe I should change my profession.
No. It's demanding. To be fair, it's demanding, but I think it depends on how you look at it, and it depends on how you're able to. I think I've mastered it so well that I know how to balance. I think that's the word. Because earlier on it was challenging. I used to bring work home, but now I've understood the system. I try as much as possible not to bring work home. Once I'm leaving the surgery, I know that that's the end. There are days when I need to, because there's some other paperwork. And that's the problem with the GP, with being a GP, is that there's a lot of admin to it apart from just seeing patients.
Do you work from home?
No, I don't. But you can. My surgery is quite flexible if I want to, but because I'm always distracted at home, so I'd rather just go in and most of the time is you have to see patients face to face. So maybe days when maybe you have something you need to go to, you can ask that, can I work from home on that day? But yeah, I hardly ask for that. I just want to go in, do my thing, and leave there and come back home. So I don't bring work home.
Sorry, carry on.
No, answering to your
I
question.
just wanted to say, from what you said about you not bringing work home again, and that brings me back to the quote we said earlier about when you prioritize ruthlessly, everything else falls into place. Because what I realized, even as you know, as a teacher, is I used to bring work home as well, but I realized that no matter what, work never finishes.
It never ends.
It never stops. So so even if I bring it home, it would still. So I had to prioritize something. I knew I had young people that I was raising. So, but I think that sort of resonates with me a lot.
Yeah. 100%.
So you don't bring work home.
I try to leave work at work, and when I'm home, I want to be present. Present for my husband, present for my children as well. So,
present for your husband. That's
two now. So 2 things I've learned from this session: pocket time. Did I get that one right?
Yeah.
Pocket time. Then be present. When you're present, be present.
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, how have you stayed emotionally present despite your career?
Okay, so just back to what you said about pockets of time. I'm trying to connect with them. Try to create memories, especially because that's one thing that we can get carried away with. Being career, we feel, oh, I want to work very hard. I want to make this money for them, to provide this for them, to buy things for them. But just don't forget that these children don't remember the things you buy for them. How your 5th birthday, 10th birthday, do you remember what your parents bought for your birthday? No, I don't remember. But
I remember the party they had.
That's the experience.
Remember the party? Okay.
I remember the experience, not what I was
not what we were bought. So it's the experience.
They never did party for me.
So I try to create experiences where I can also connect with them, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive. So like 10 breaks, I try to. So even though we work Monday to Friday, I don't work on Mondays for things like this. Like someone says, life admin. We have life admins where you have emails and things to do, not just for work, but also house at home. The admin work of lessons, or trying to sort out their other extracurricular activities, things like that. So in these pockets of time, I try to ensure that, like I said, it doesn't have to create experiences and memories for them. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. You can just be going to the park and just taking a few sandwiches, but they enjoy it so much. You're always like, I can't wait to go and have a picnic in the park. So we just go there, spend time, do frisbee, they play, ride their bike, sit down and enjoy that moment. So it doesn't have to be anything expensive. So sometimes let's not just get carried away that I want to buy this or do this for them. And let's not forget also that the parenting is for a time frame. There will be a time where they'll be out of the house, and these are the things that they would remember, the experiences, what we did on holidays, where we went to, how mommy used to take us to watch a movie. Those are the things we remember, not the expensive Nike shoe. Nobody remembers all that.
And to be sincere with you, I think some time ago when we had my wife's birthday, we decided to go for a brunch, and we went to this very small cafe close to the house, about 15 minutes away from the house. But I never knew that cafe existed, but we really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the food, and that day I made up my mind that
it was different, because we've always just done dinner.
Yeah,
we haven't really done brunch before.
Never done brunch, and I felt like at times you just think until maybe we get to Central London that you really don't need all the exotic things. But you could. I remember when they brought the food, my daughter said, "Oh, this food was cooked in love." That's what she said. And it was not expensive. It was not overly expensive.
Take much to make them happy. Even at home, when it's camping, we do like what we call home camping, where we just put the couches together, we use bed sheets, put sticks, and we camp. We sleep there, overnight, watch TV, movie night, do just little things. It can be movie night, can be game night, play games together. All those little things is where you connect with them, and that's where you hear them talk about, somebody that annoyed them in school, and that's how you can help navigate that challenge or that what might be giving them stress. But normally they won't come out and say these things to you, but when they are very relaxed, that's when they open up and talk, and that's how you can tease out the information.
Tease out.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just want to ask, have you at any point ever felt like guilty, where you felt
you're not doing much,
you're not doing enough, and how did you handle that?
That's a very good question, because I remember this happened when I was training and I was doing lots of shifts, and in that time I remember when I used to ask for parents, I had a friend that she doesn't work, so she was a stay-at-home mom. So when they're having activities like sports day, I'll say, please take picture of my son, and I always used to feel guilty that I wasn't there. So I remember as one of my supervisors then said, because I told her about this guilt of not being there or not doing enough for my son then. I hadn't had my daughter then, and one thing she said that I'll never forget is that she said that being a career mom is an achievement, is something that is hard, to balance or integrate, like you said. But she said that you are a role model for your children to see how that hard work pays. You're a role model to see that how they can balance career with working. So if you're doing this, do it well, so that when they see that hard work pays, if you go all out, if you put in your best, this is what you can achieve. I'll never forget that, and I held that on, and since then the guilt stopped, because I realized that this is also an opportunity that I can be there for them, and also an opportunity where if you work, you can also provide these experiences we're talking about, because there's some experiences that money can't, that money to pay for. So to be able to work and have that experience is also an achievement for them. So yes,
I do identify with what you've said,
and that ties with what you were saying earlier about sometimes we need to recognize that there is a season.
A season. That's
and it will pass.
I kind of identify with what you said, because earlier in the week I got this week was a bit overwhelming because there was a lot going on. I have a business I'm working on and all of that. It was quite overwhelming. And I got an handwritten letter from my daughter. She sent it from school, and it was called "Well Done" letter. I don't know what it. But she began to acknowledge every single person and what everybody's doing and all. And and I'm so proud of you that you are working on this business, blah 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 blah. And I kind of felt so, and I'm saying for me, I just
so they are watching.
I was like, they are watching, and I felt okay. Obviously, this is something she's also proud of, and she's thinking about. You understand that? Okay, even if it's just because of this girl, I need to keep doing this thing. I don't have to give up. You get it? Yeah. So I kind of.
So you are modeling something.
You're modeling something. You're modeling something. Yes. Yes. What advice will you give working mothers?
This time is a short time. Like I said, the kids won't be there forever, so we should just try not to get carried away, and where we have to be purposeful about it, we have to be proactive about it. We can't just be reactive. So like I said earlier on, create the memories, be there for them, have that connection, try to create an environment where they can grow and be better. And if we realize most of people who are very at least based on my profession and things I've seen, people who have a lot of mental health issues, even physical issues, stem from very poor backgrounds, traumatic events that have happened in the past that is now leading to these personality disorders, this depression, this anxiety. So if we create that environment where they can be nurtured, where they can develop in a healthy, loving environment, then like you said, like Bible says, what you sow is what you would reap. How you lay your bed is, how you make your bed, where you lie on it. So, you have, exactly. So you have to sow those seeds in them if you want to, reap good results. Like my husband always says that if you want to be at peace, there's a Yoruba way he says it.
Train your child so that you have that peace.
Before we finish it up today, I just want to ask, I'm thinking about that mom, that dad, or that parent out there who is already feeling overwhelmed, who is already feeling like, how can I do this? And I think, so we've learnt about what we can do with the parents, but some people already feel overwhelmed, like, I just can't even see myself, how much more? What would you say to them? I'm talking from the medical perspective, I'm talking from the parenting perspective. What's your final words to them for today? You wanted to add something to that?
No, I wanted to.
Give me no final words. Right?
No, don't worry. Yeah. I don't want to be insensitive. Go.
So I think the first thing is to, if you've gotten to the place where you know that there is a problem, it's already half solved. Because some people don't even know they're overwhelmed until something bad happens or health challenges starts coming in. Hopefully, no parent should get to that point. But if you're getting overwhelmed and stressed, the first thing is to pull back and see where can I this is now medically or physically. You need to rest. You need to take time to
take a break.
Take a break, exactly. So if you're working in a permanent role, you have to stress is a reason why some people call in sick. So even if and you're entitled to 1 week off, don't feel bad. Take a step back and rest. And also sometimes we are not also helping ourselves with the kind of lifestyles we are living, in the sense that we're not physically active, we're not eating the right things, because all these things gives you the energy and the frame of mind to be able to handle some of these stressful events. Because to be truth, life is stressful. Things will come up. We cannot choose the challenges we face. There are things that are out of our control. But if you're in that physical and mental frame of mind to be strong enough to handle it, when they come, you'll be able to handle it. So that's my advice physically. And you cannot, overemphasize the role of God in our lives. The Bible says, my grace is sufficient for you, my power is made perfect even in your weakness. So sometimes we are weak, sometimes we need, and I don't even know how people do it that are not Christians, with how the world is now, how they can do without God, because God is the only one that can give you that strength to be able to handle whatever is overwhelming for you.
That's a good note to end. We've learned some very interesting things today. Tease out some truths from them. Have pockets of time. And things like that. And just to let you know, balance is not a destination. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm between purpose and presence. And I think with everything that we do, we have a purpose, and we're available to fulfill, to do something with the purpose, and that's where presence matters. And so on that note, we'd like to end it today. We just want to say a huge thank you to Dr. Fumi for coming on.
Thank you, Dr. Fumi.
We do appreciate you. If you liked this episode, please feel free to like, comment and share, and please always we would like to hear from you. If there's any sort of topics you want us to cover, if you have any questions regarding today's episode or previous episodes, please put it on there. Just make some notes there, comment on there, and we'll check it out. We will be there. It's a community. We are here to support each other. We don't all have it. No one has it together. We don't all have it together. We're learning from each other, and that's how we keep bringing people that can share their own stories. People that we feel, okay, this is what they've done wrong, and this is where this is what they've done better, and that's what Family Roundtable is about. On that note, I would like to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Please follow us again on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Again, subscribe, like, and share. And I am Oluwatosin Okay.
And I'm Larry Okay.